Niall McGrath here for SevereMMA.com alongside Ian McCall ahead of his fight with Neil Seery this weekend at UFC Fight Night 99. First of all, Ian, great to have you back in Ireland. Third time lucky?
Of course. There's no way this happens again. I don't really see it happening. Neil looks fine. You know, he's going to be there.
You know, obviously a huge amount of frustrations the last number of fights. I was over in Cleveland. I know you're real pissed off over there as well after Ray fell out of that fight. Just your thoughts on this fight. You know, Neil's a guy who's going to want to stand and bang. You're probably going to take it to the deck. Is that fair to say?
You know, I'm very confident in my kickboxing. I think that I could knock him out on the feet. But I am way better at wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So I have that sitting in my back pocket the whole time.
You know, what's it been like? How are the frustrations for the last number of fights? Because it's something, you know, a lot of fighters would go mad and potentially not even bloody fight again after that. You know, it's 2 times guys that fall out in fight week a couple of days before. What's the feelings?
Honestly, I've been laughing. I just laughed it off. I've been getting paid to hang out and party and have fun and travel. You know, with that said, I would obviously like to fight. But it is what it is. I never thought I would be doing this again, so I'm just honored to be here.
Yeah, we spoke about it a lot of times in the show in the past. You know, your injuries and things like that. Ian, how is the body on fight week in this training camp?
It's old. You know, I got a lot of miles on it, but I'm good. Your shoulder's good again. I can actually use it. I can actually knock people out with my right hand again. But you know, I'm not young. You know, so I train a lot differently than I used to.
You know, for you, you've said there's no guarantees that you're going to fight again either. You know, after this fight, is that fair to say?
Of course, I could break something or tear something and have surgery, and I'm done. I promised my family that if I had one more surgery, I would be done, and I don't have time to be up for another year of rehab and surgery and all the nonsense. I'm not into that.
You know, you've had those doubts about retirement. Do you think that's a good thing? Maybe you might have already, probably should have called it a day if you're having those doubts in your mind?
No, you know, my body's fine. You know, I'm in good shape. I'm strong, fast, got everything going on. I just have to be a realist. I have to know that, you know, I know that my body could fail me, as it has before, and granted, I take better care of it than I used to, so we'll see.
The fight itself, you know, what kind of fight are we going to see? A lot of people are excited about this. It's been in the talks for a couple of years now, Ian.
It'll be an exciting fight. You know, I got to send him off on a good one, so it'll be fun.
Any words for Neil on his retirement? You know, a guy you've had a good relationship with since UFC Dublin, I think. Any words for him, you know, going out against you?
Good luck.